Normally, beating Tower of True skill for the first time can take multiple weeks because of how hard it is in comparison to something like Tower of Shifting Slopes. But it took me a total of 6 months, so here's 5 tips I wish I knew before starting my grind. I know you've heard this a lot before, but most people only stop rushing for a few minutes then go right back. What you need to do is to take your time on every single jump, punishing or not. You should always align yourself properly before attempting the jump. An example of this is my Tower of Heck win. It took multiple months just to reach the win pad when it could have easily taken a few days if I stopped pretending to be a speedrunner. You probably don't understand what play consistently means, and that's because I don't either. I just wanted a short subtitle he. It means that you should either grind your tower every day or at least do an all-floor practice run for the tower. Speaking of practice, this video is sponsored by Gamatter's Practice Place. It's a place where you can practice all intense and above towers, even the ones in Pit of Misery. I'll leave a link to it in the description. This video is the other sponsored by Maxed Up's Practice Place. It's a place where you can practice most hard to challenging towers. I'll also leave the link for that in the description. Now that you know how often and where to practice, it's time to learn how to practice. If it's your first day grinding the tower, you should start off with an all-jump run. Do all the jumps in the tower with knocklip and try to remember which jumps were harder to do. Once you're done with the all-jump run, you should try to do the harder or more stressful sections of the tower without failing once, like outside sections and the final stretch. In the last section I talked about doing an all-floor run every day. You'll need to do one of those now. If you don't know what that is, it's just a run where you do an entire floor of the tower without using knocklip, then moving on to the next floor once you're done. It's okay if you can't do the whole all-jump run in one day, and it's not that big of a deal if you start playing the tower legit once you finish practicing the harder sections. Now you should do an all-jump run every day until you're ready to complete an entire all-jump run in one day. Then you can move on to all-floor runs every day instead. What I mean by don't reset is that you shouldn't restart your run if you have no reason to. Unless you're stuck in a softlock, you shouldn't even think about restarting. It might take some time to go back to the gameplay if you fall to the opposite side of the floor, but you might not want to get into the habit of restarting whenever you fall because you might accidentally restart in a different tower with button progress. This should be really obvious, but I've seen many people stop their grind when they don't notice any progress. It's a really common mistake, especially in beginners, because every minute you spend playing a tower contributes to your consistency. There will be a point where you start getting to the later floors consistently. You just need to have patience, but that doesn't mean there won't also be a point where you'll feel like you're making absolutely no progress. Remember when I mentioned my Tower of True skill grind taking 6 months? If I didn't switch my grind to a new tower every few days, I probably would have been able to beat it in 1 month. Hopefully this video helped to motivate you to continue your grind, and helps you with your later grinds.